Everybody's safe and well. My name is Deborah Byrne from Deborah Byrne Psychology Services, known across social media as DBpsychology. So today I'm going to talk about this week's blog, which I usually do every Saturday morning. And if you're new to watching this, you're very welcome. So today I'm going to talk about reconnecting with ourselves. This is my cat. She's decided to join us. This is Ginny. So sorry about that, but these things happen. So we're talking about reconnecting with ourselves in a relationship, and we can lose ourselves in a relationship. It is quite common, particularly at the start. The first part of the first stage of a relationship is called the merge stage, and I've talked about this in more detail about all the different stages of a long-term relationship. But it's the part where we want to get to know ourselves, and we want to do things together, we want to be together. It's all perfectly normal to do that. But at the same time, we still want to be maintaining our healthy boundaries. We still want to be, mindful of any red flags that could be going on. Our relationships need to encourage us. They need to encourage us as an individual to grow, and they need to encourage the relationship as a couple to grow. And we should still be able to, meet our own basic needs, have our own friends and family members, meet up with them, and have our own interests, etc. That should still be going on, even while we're a couple. We still can have these different and separate things that we do together. I do put a little bit of a warning in, and it's a reminder really, because I have a very detailed blog on gaslighting, I have a very detailed blog on domestic violence, and I have a very detailed blog on red flags in early red flags in relationships. So do check them out. They are on the website. They are linked into the original blog. They're linked out from that, and there's videos on them. Some have podcasts now, so you can sit and listen even to them. You don't have to read them, but they're there if you need them. But apart from moving on from that, just, there is something that can happen to us when we start off in a relationship. We merge into this couple, and we can still find at some point we have this sense that we're losing ourselves. We can lose ourselves to this relationship, to this other person. And we have to be mindful that this can be an indication to us that perhaps we have some codependency tendencies, we have some perfectionism tendencies. We just need to be careful of that, and we need, if so, and we recognize this, we need to reach out for help. But there are ways that you can help yourself reconnect. If you feel that I've lost myself here, I really need to reconnect back. Who was I before this relationship happens? And sometimes that doesn't happen until you get out of that relationship, unfortunately. But, if you're in a relationship and you feel, I've lost this, there's something wrong here, there's something missing, I'm missing a part of myself, then there are ways you can connect with yourself, reconnect with yourself. The first thing, and I will always say it, is step back and, look at your basic self-care needs. It's your first step to taking back control over your own life and to setting a boundary again. You're allowed to do that. You should be allowed to meet your own basic self-care needs and feel you can still love the other person just as much as you're loving yourself. If you're playing, this is what I'm saying to you, if you're playing the martyr or the victim, that's not healthy. If you're putting everybody else first and you are last on the list, that's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for your partner. It's not healthy for the relationship, in fact. It's not very healthy for any relationship. So you really do need to start taking back control and at least meeting those basic needs that I've talked about. And I do detail them out in the blog, what I would consider your basic self-care needs. Number two, I would say to you, would be to start, even if you've let go of connections with family and friends, to start connecting again, or keep up those connections. Make sure you're keeping those connections with positive people, positive family, positive friends, and even if you have left this slide, reconnect with them. You've never burnt your bridges with anybody, particularly if they're, they're positive people, they're on your side, and they're there for you. They'll still be there for you. One thing I can say here is, yes, we do grow. We can outgrow people. We do that all the time. You see it, particularly when we become parents. Maybe a friend hasn't had children yet, and you can shift on in your life. You have children. You can outgrow somebody for various reasons, not just because becoming a parent. You will probably get, new friends too as a couple. But there will still be people there that are positive to you. Your family members will still be there. It's okay to have those connections. It should be okay to have those connections. If it isn't, if it's something, that your partner is saying, no, you can't be connected, I don't like that person, take a step back and look at that. Now, it can be for one or two reasons. Maybe that person isn't good for you. Keep an open mind, but also be aware that part of gaslighting too is to isolate you. So be aware of that. It's okay to have and make time for family and friends. It should be in a healthy relationship. So do that. Number 3, make sure you don't let go of your own interests. Now, this is also around personal development. It's okay to have different hobbies and interests. Sometimes you do have similar, and you should have some similar connections there with your partner if it's going to work out. But you can have different interests and hobbies as well. And it's okay for you to go and enjoy time doing those. And you need to schedule those in. Your partner, again, you should be encouraged to do that. You should be encouraged to have personal development, both for personal things and in business. Your work, your career. Maybe if you have a business, your own business, you should be encouraged to do all that. Often it's us. We give up scheduling in the time to do these things. We let them go. We often do that. So make time. Start rescheduling it in. Start asking for time to be able to do that. If you have kids and you need, one of you to babysit, there should be a balance there. And that brings me on to number 4. Be willing to speak up. I've said it before. Good communication is vital for a healthy relationship. So you have to be willing to communicate your own needs, your own wants, and your opinions. No matter how knowledgeable, say, your partner is on a particular topic, they should never dismiss even your opinion on it. They shouldn't belittle you. They shouldn't be putting you down. That would be a red flag. But we also need to learn to develop good communication skills, and that's that is a tool in itself. It's a skill. It's not something we can be naturally able to do sometimes. So if it is a problem for you, learn it. Go and learn good communication skills. I have a blog or a video on it, and you can check that out, how to communicate in a relationship. Try it. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience with you if you're not used to asking for things, if you're not used to doing this, or maybe you've let it go. You've gotten rusty at it. It is a skill, as I said. You can get rusty at it. So you should feel comfortable voicing your needs, your wants, your opinions in the relationship, and being able to speak up for what you need. You're not going to drive away a person by doing that. You shouldn't be driving away a person by doing that. That would, to me, if they were putting you down and you couldn't, or you didn't feel like you could voice yourself, then that would be a red flag for me. That's one of the red flags. And number 5, which would be the last one, would be to trust your gut instinct here. If something feels off, it probably is. So you need to check that out. And the other thing I would say to you is, particularly listen in the early stages of the relationship, keep an open mind. listen to what family and friends are saying. If they're telling you there's a red flag going off in their heads about this person, then be open-minded enough to investigate. The rose-tinted glasses can keep a lot away from us. Never think as well that you've burnt your bridges with people again if you've disconnected. If you're in trouble, they'll always be there for you. So reach out. You haven't burnt your bridges with them. They will help you. They are there for you. Positive family and friends, your positive supporters. I've talked about this group before, your doctors and that. They're there for you. They will help you. So that's it. I go into much more detail in the blog, and apologies for Ginny being around this morning. She likes to be in the room with me. So I go into a lot more detail, as I say, in the blog on these different points and about what's in a healthy relationship, what makes a healthy relationship. So do check it out. It's at www.deborahbyrnespsychologyservices.com. You can also reach out for help with me and work with me. I have a link again to make an appointment in the blog if you'd like to work with me. Good morning, Deirdre, as always, and thank you for supporting, and thank you very much everybody who watches live and who watches I'm just reading Deirdre's comment here. Yeah, extra cuddles to Ginny. Yes, she is all about self-care. She is, yes. Cats are brilliant at showing you how to do self-care. Do reach out if you need help. I'm here. I've put a link to my free group. There are loads of courses there. I've done loads of training this in the last 2 months even. We've just finished up another 7 training sessions. Yesterday I did a 7th training session for this year alone, but there are loads of units in the group now. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody. If you want to join the group, you're more than welcome to come along. There's a link in the description, and again there's a link to the blog and how to make an appointment with me as well in the description below. So thank you all for listening, and thank you for watching, those that watch in replay as well and over on YouTube. So I leave it there. Good morning.